with a quick introduction.
Okay.
My name is Maggie Holt. I've been doing kig performing and fursuiting for about 10 years now. I found kig a long time ago. I found furry longer than that. But I stayed in the closet. We're going to use the euphemism a lot. So I stayed in the closet till I was 25. I'm 35 now. I'm here. I'm bi. I'm not queer. I'm more invert. I figured out my labels, damn it. I am assisted today by Angel McLeod here.
Hi.
She doesn't need a microphone.
No, as I could. You want me to talk? You know how dangerous it is to put these shape of thing towards my mouth. Hey, this.
Oh,
you
new
wine,
All right. I swore I would keep it PG-13. Else they would have put us late night Saturday or Friday.
And then I'd be doing this asleep. Anyway, yeah.
Also, probably a lot more ditches. And anyway,
Euphemisms can come in.
yes. I can say day.
Richard.
You know Richards.
He goes, yes, we do.
All right. Enough jokes.
I'm not.
So I'm assuming everyone here is a furry.
If you're not a furry, raise your hand. We will convert you soon.
All the fursuiters raise their hands for those. We are looking at a show for folks who couldn't come because, it's fun. So just as a quick aside, everyone here knows what a fursuit is, of course. Being a full body costume, usually made of faux fur. Now we're seeing fleece or inky, a few other things. Now, the other part of this panel does not involve the pajamas, I swear. Although they are related because Kigurumi is a term that comes from Japan that just means mascot. They refer to all the stuff over there as Kigurumi. If you see, Chitan wandering around, Kigurumi. See the anime dolls doing stuff for the free cure shows, for animes and other things. If you ever caught that Dragon Ball Z next to Super now, has a few mascot shows going around. You've seen the Toku shows going around. Anyone familiar with Super Sentai? Kamen Rider? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to get there. Godzilla's Kigurumi. How's that? Technically, he is Kigurumi.
Yeah.
However, we're here today not to talk about the PJs nor the mascotting aspect of it, but the masking aspect of it. And I see we have I know I have a couple of plants in the audience, but I also see a few other Kig masks that I did not like. So that's always good. So an example of a Kigurumi, of course, we have, as I looked up Angel's elf here, plastic, fiberglass, sometimes mask with hair and eyes, etc. Usually designed to reference an anime character. You see him venturing into both jointed dolls and other territory at this point. Very nice, very pretty. Yeah, you left your nice one.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't fit. It fits, but
You also had so much room to bring stuff.
no, it's literally in the room. It's just I did bring that.
Oh, you didn't do Surreal. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Is it? You didn't ask? Or would it? It just wanted his ear.
Oh, I would have to hit up your vent. So, lately, as I'm looking at all the cat gigs, and I don't know your species. I'm guessing with it. Yes, you. Me. Yes. What species?
Fuller.
I can't understand it.
Snap.
Oh, snap. It is a cat. Close enough. So we are seeing the emergence of Furkigs, which is Kigurumi that are styled after fursuits, or rather, would be more expected in the fursuiting community, coming out of China in blanks, or people are making their own, or buying one and then customizing the hell out of it and do what they want. And of course, I can't talk about Furkig without bringing out one of the older ones. This is Princess Flame. She was made by Konikate. She is, I want to say, an artifact at this point because she's like, 13, 14 years old, man? Yeah, there we go. She is so old that the maker has literally stopped making masks entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you an idea.
About 2008.
You think this one was 2009?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would know.
I have I had, for those that can't see, we have one of our historians of the kid community up here in front who had denied us to be on the panel because they've been having a lot of health issues and I didn't want to burden them with it.
But the brain still works good.
Well, the brain still works, but
Thank you, so Bina.
Well, the brain never did work right.
She has clarified the brain never worked right.
Some of them.
So, let's say this panel, we'll be talking about kicks and their relationships to fursuits. For the most part, it's pretty much if you've worn one, you might enjoy wearing the other. If you've not worn both, well, might want to try one first. But they're pretty much the same. At the end of the day, it's still full body costuming. You're still covering yourself from head to toe in something. You know, for fursuits, obviously, it's fur or whatever else you've made the fursuit out of. In the case of kig, it tends to be more a lycra bodysuit. We call adoptai or skin tights. I hear a lot of people saying hada online, and it's like, yes, you're referring to skin. Do not put on other people's skin. Also, as a reminder, these are treated like underwear usually when you wear them enough. So I would not recommend borrowing other people's hadatai or buying used hadatai. They will not fit right because they're usually custom tailored to the person's body. And in addition to that, yay, you wouldn't buy someone else's used underwear, would you? If you would, and then you would fit that here.
That's a different panel.
They're all panel, I'm sorry.
That's a different
That should have been hosted last night, probably somewhere else. So the bulk of this is I've done the introduction to the stuff. I've gone through the history of it before for people. I've put that stuff on YouTube for others to come and watch whenever. But what I want to do today is discuss something much more interesting that people tend to want to know more about and see rather than just hear, which is we came to actually dress up Angel the Reciba way. So as you can see, I kept her PG-13 started with the hadatai on. Angel, if you would stand up on me, please.
Okay.
So we're going to go over everything you see here and what you can't see because there was stuff under here.
Mhm.
So Angel, we'll start at the best.
Probably so.
Sure, the best. There you go.
Said Keith.
So,
Look, everybody can look.
Here's one.
Use that. There you go.
so no matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, you may, well, I should have said, no matter how small you are, you may want to invest in some foam padding for your hips and or butt, because not everyone is naturally gifted with those things. And we don't care, male, female, you're going to need to pad out if you want to meet the right curvature of doing a female character in this. Now, if you're doing a male, you can skip this bit.
Well, it just would be different. You'd be cutting.
Well, you might pad out more with like a muscle suit or something. We're not discussing that right now because I don't have one to show.
No, but you can show off my butt.
Well, I already showed off your butt.
Well, there I turned around for.
Yeah, I know. I was getting the next part because next up we have a waist cincher or corset, depending on the person's preference. I've seen both. I can tell you that corset needs a lot more caution. I've been to the hospital over it. Many other kids have been to the hospital over tight corsets because you just get your friend that's really strong to start pulling on those strings. Next thing you know, I can't breathe. Or worst case, you hear a pop. So that was the bottom stuff covered. Pull in the waist. You might want to do that anyway, regardless of whether or not you're doing male or female, because, well, unless you're really good at holding your breath in, you're always going to have that punch.
There's a question.
There's a question already. What you got?
I just didn't hear what the alternate to the corset.
Oh, we have waist cinchers. Yes, that is
Yeah.
another thing that's similar to a corset. They're preset. Whereas a corset, are you wearing a waist cincher or corset today?
I'm just wearing a very supple waist. Sure.
Okay. So, So corsets normally would have lacing in the back and a metal busk in the front. And what that allows us to do is we put it on, close the busk, and then someone goes behind us and tightens those laces out. Now, with a waist cincher, you have predetermined points you're tightening it to. And you're basically just anchoring it, zipping it closed, and calling it a day.
Yeah.
They're a little easier to use. They don't always give the best effects comparatively,
Depends on the foundation.
which is why we talked about having to build up with the hips and butt padding that you can kind of find online. It's always subjective. Some people love to make their own out of home.
Yeah. These actually what I have here are from a company called Dress Tech. They're silicone. They go down the back here, come up, and then come back around like that. And then there's a couple little extra ones that go on the, just to give a little bit of oomph, to add the extra oomph that you need with the curve.
Because, yeah, big butts. They look better with big boobs. So we'll move on to the next part, which is breast forms. Now, I can't show any because that would, be boobage and nudity, and we're not violating that ruling convention. However, I can tell you, Angel was endowed, but she's not anime endowed. So even though she's big, we have to give her extra breast forms to improve her bust size. I think I might need to move over this way a bit more for my camera.
Okay.
No, it's seeing all the way over that.
Oh, you can see all the way over there? Oh, good.
Just shove me around.
I'll just show you around. It'll be fine.
She likes
Oh,
it.
careful. Careful, Whipple. Oh, I didn't want to knock you back. Thought I was pulling you over this.
No, I don't have those special shoes.
So, and with the Hadatai she's currently wearing, this is a breast form one that is specially made to help give the effect of cleavage. Normally, a Hadatai is like, a Zentai, a standard bodysuit you grab off the rack, and it just kind of mono boosts you. And as you can see, she actually has cleavage indentation. So that helps for that knowledge. These are about 200, 250 each for the cleavage Hadatai, depending on where you get them.
Yeah.
And that usually does include breast forms to fill it out. So
Black Cat Kig also makes pre-made ones.
yeah. I don't know if they actually make them because there's a lot of resellers that just sell from the same place.
But toes sometimes are
I
optional.
always on it though.
When you get
Vary.
I like the toes.
There's only a few people who actually
They're
make them,
dopey.
and a lot of them are in China.
Yeah.
The questions are from.
Yes.
Are there any that come in like 2-piece version?
Yes. There is the same company that makes them does offer a 2-piece version. It is not as highly requested, but they do make it. So
Now what?
well, now we gotta get you dressed.
I got the key, or?
No, that's not me like a Liz morning.
Oh, okay.
So Angel has brought us some nice little lead up.
Because everyone wears what we're at some point. In case they just need to be an Atropus nation.
Okay. This is, if you don't know, it's called a petticoat. This is used to fluff out your skirt. Now we'll sit down so I don't fall down.
Please don't fall down.
No!
I do not want to know what the insurance would be.
Well, it just would have a joke for a bit, You're going, I'd fall and then I can't get up. Petticoat. Hey, I can see you just count now.
Now, the smart thing to do before you get any further is put on anything on your feet. And I say this from experience because there's nothing like getting in part way and then all of a sudden realizing, oh, I forgot to put on my shoes and now I can't bend over.
Exactly.
I hate with that.
Yes, socks, and not the MC from the variety show. That's somebody different.
No, but I bet they're nicer.
Socks is in this. Okay. Oh,
No, I did not plan to fill this bit. I just wanted her to get dressed.
but I'm all you know me, improv.
Well, she is the filler.
Yes, it's yes and that is the key. And nothing you'll like it. There, I have now socks with really ankle legs. That was in all of this. Sure. You mean my princess Furry? That work. I got a shoe. That must be the one. Ta-da! I have shoes. Yay!
Dance for us.
How many buttons?
Well, at this stage, shouldn't have to undo any.
Okay. So you should just pull that over.
Yes. Just have to make sure to pull these sleeve out. Ah, yes, that would be a problem. Find up this. Very simple, very easy.
Oh, this should be a symbol.
Yes.
Because then, like, you with like she's dressed here.
But still gonna need a volunteer from the audience.
Yep.
Who wants to volunteer to flip a couple?
By someone without gloved hands.
Yeah,
I see one.
yeah.
Item number 1.
What am I doing again? You're coming up in your button.
See, there's a couple of buttons.
Oh, lovely.
That's all. Because with gloved hands, it becomes a challenge. Because the dexterity drops by 10 points.
10 points. Don't I know? Well, like the button at us.
This should be lose by
Stroke
yeah,
bust you.
this button for the bow on the very top.
On the bow.
Oh, you'll see it. There. Button. Is that for someone?
The only button I saw.
Okay. The bow's button, right? Because I can't tell. I don't have your hair.
I was the only one.
Okay. Hey.
Is that it?
Yay! Give them a round of applause! Yay! Yay! Oh, something got missed. That's on me. See the long things, the little cord things. They need to be tied into a bow because you know you can't have a doll without a long perch bow. As always. As always.
Lost your panties.
Oh, no! It's not that type of show!
You lost them again?
It's okay, they can stay off its cupboard now. You can't see my lack of underthings.
And this is why she makes sure to wear a bathrobe over.
Yes, because they popped twice walking over.
Would somebody buy this used underwear? I just thought you were with the one again.
show. And we didn't know.
The better way to keep them up would get ones that actually fit and not lose so much weight since the last time you bought them.
That would be a term.
If it comes down to it, safety pins.
We had the discussion about double-sided tape and safety pins already.
Maybe use staples.
No stapling to me. Have heard. Okay.
So, of course, the last step in getting ready is always the mask. Now, Angel's here, pretty straightforward, very simple. Has the wig attached on top already via Velcro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So I could wear multiple ways.
Now,
Not all at once.
every mask is different, of course, when we get to Kig. Some have really good vision, some have decent vision, some have questionable vision. In this case here, Angel's has 2 little ports right over the eyes. Not that big. Yeah, they are really tiny. I can't show you.
Okay. And it's generally easier to stake. Let's see if I can show you briefly on the inside. See, backside of it. It's a little elastic on this one. There's the back of the wig.
Might need to swing this way and do it again.
Okay.
Because people
Cradle it.
didn't see.
Okay, I'll just walk by real quick.
Do your best not to white.
See?
Oh yeah.
English.
As Angel makes your way around the room, showing people us close. I'm just gonna put my tongue right.
Basic yearly.
But so far, pretty straightforward. We left out the hard part, which is the Hadakai, because, well, some ways you just can't show you get 13 panels.
You know what it is. What's that?
And I make sure to
It's called a mask.
and I recommended the panel as a DG13 panel. Parents be advised. Because I was covering my own butt and the con's butt at the same time. Because they were approving the DG13 panel.
You see.
I see a question. They're pretty stretchy. I'm not wearing one right now. Danny, come here. Yes, Miss. My unfortunate volunteer. Voluntold is more accurate. She is wearing her hadatai. That's probably about near retirement age. Very. I can't get a grip on it, but it stretches pretty well, as you can see from here. It is not the stretchiest. But it will pull out a little bit. They are made to your measurements at the time.
I do have a question. Who is a good supplier for them?
I'm sorry?
Who is a good supplier for them?
Typically, you will find most mask makers, such as GKO,
KGK.
will offer the opportunity when you buy a mask from them to get one. They also let you just order whenever. But we have GKO, who uses a couple of different suppliers. Dame also uses a couple of different suppliers. And those are both well known. You'll get what you get. Make sure your measurements are accurate. They do not triple check them for you.
Okay.
If you're good at taking measurements, you'll be set. Oh,
Yes?
There's another question over there.
Who had a question?
No, she also.
Oh, okay.
well, what was the next question?
Where you have your breast marks?
Oh, these came with the DFS I bought, but you can get the main difference between the ones that came with my daytime when I got it and your ones that you just can get like on Amazon or whatever is there's like a Velcro on the back because there's a vest on the inside of the daytime that the Velcro goes to hold them in place. Because
I'm pulling it up for you.
okay,
Be careful.
because I'll swallow it.
I know.
Anyway, but without that, if you just had smooth regular back, they could just slide down. You could be walking along going, oh, great. Oh, no, my boobs are in my lap.
So we had an issue with the older ones. I would call WBS, Wandering Boob Syndrome. And you could tell who was using the new tech and who wasn't by Wandering Boob Syndrome randomly during a kid gathering.
Yep.
And it's funny when you're walking along and all of a sudden your boob goes from your chest to your thigh.
Or wherever. Yo, it's migrating.
Migratory boobs.
Are we ready for the meat to be shutting the...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think you can go about it. So typically when you put on the kid mask, in this case, Angel has a strap which flips head through. Depending on the head type, you'll get different ones, different ways to put it on. But typically it all goes that, and then you kind of swing your head back to get your hair.
There's a brush on the table.
There is, but I was trying to get out of your face.
Okay, I can't see.
I know you can't see it. I can see it. Cool.
Wait, what's the bowling time?
Always remember to brush your gates. I'm doing it wrong, by the way. I will give a quick demo of that because that's always the smart thing to teach people who never messed with wigs before. Angel, turn around for me, please. So with long wigs, you always, because a wig hair does not grow back, start at the bottom. And you will just gently work your way up that particular strand. slowly making it way up to where the wig starts. And then you'll do that again and again and again. And yes, it's time consuming. It takes a while. But maintaining these things is a pain in the butt.
Silicone spray is pretty good for that stuff. Keep it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have multiple different versions of.
So what my senpai told me and recommended is 1 part mane and tail detangling spray with 2 parts water. So for every ounce of mane and tail, you're going to add 2 parts of water to a large spray bottle. You are not going to add the entire bottle of mane and tail at once. It is not recommended. That spray bottle will last you several years if used appropriately. You do not want to spray a lot on your Kig. That stuff builds up over time. And then you have to wash it out of the hair before you can put any more in and get it anywhere. And it is butts.
If you get mane and tail on the floor, it's going to be slippery as hell.
Yeah, don't spill it either. You do spill it on carpet where you can hope to get it out and pray. Yeah, you're in. Yeah.
Dolly!
Maybe even buy you with you. And because I can, and I see someone sitting over there who is probably better known for their Furkig or out convention. Afro, I see you. Did you come up here? I guess I want you to come up. I want you to show off. I have a video recorder going, so I want you to show off on front in video. Afro, as you can see, is a very lovely bunny today. And as we've talked about, hard shell, hard weight. She mounted hers with fans so she can stand there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But hers was made by my senpai, so that's one of the reasons I want to bring it. Thank you for coming up. Now I see a few other cakes. Does anyone else want to come up and show off their cake since we're at that point where we're like, hey, who wants to be seen? You up a cake? We'll put it on. Come up. Oh, you just want to show it off? Okay, fine. You can come up and show it off.
Mine goes with a bombe.
So where did you get yours?
I got mine from Fursuiting.
Fursuiting.
It's hard.
Yeah.
The eyes were supposed to be up here, but they covered it.
Yeah.
So now I have to.
This is where they would go. This is where they would go. See, slide away where I'm touching. Is normally where you find these bases with eyeballs.
Helmets.
Yep, and it has a welded face helmet inside, which makes it really easy to put on.
Pretty hard.
It's hard, but
Oh, and you can move around the.
yeah, I have one like that actually that I just gave away to my little friend.
Yes.
You're welcome. Don't forget to
I only have
Stop.
photos.
Hello.
We have a lovely snap.
Yeah. I got my suitor from Korea, Papa. That's up with hers. Mine has the rack strap and all the padding inside. So it's easy to adjust for whatever size, wherever we want to put it on. And it's easy to put on as well. Ta-da!
I hate your outfit. Spring. Go humbug. That's what I figured because you said Korean.
Howdy. I might need to use the microphone. I'm not sure if it will be loud enough. Can y'all hear me? Alright. So I made mine mostly. I got the base off Amazon. And then dollar store clay for the little horns. And I just kind of followed tutorials on how to stretch the minky over the face. I wouldn't use hot glue. I use hot glue. It was not great. So use contact cement if you can.
How many burns?
They're all on my thumb.
Yep.
I want to say like 4. I have a little eye bag under, I think, this eye, one of them. Use contact cement. So yeah, I did that, and I did the kind of like the kimono style, like brush both sides of the little wefts to, you know, kind of bring the fur through. I only just learned how to properly brush fur today without ripping out, so that's great.
That's a good shit.
Uh-huh. My little guy's a lion dog. He's technically a dog, but he wants to be a lion. So, you know, the mane and the little tail, I also made tied to unfold after belt. And the tip is had tied like a little lion's, like the little claws at the end. And
Hello, my name's Zilla, and my version was a little bit more DIY. I got the Dynamask from Walmart and just used compression clothes from like Amazon and some party balloons tied down with paracord.
Hey, everyone starts somewhere.
And I tried to get as much as I can secondhand from sites like Poshmark and ThreadUp. And I really like the way I got it.
Is that a question? Or is that just a wave? Oh, hello. So, actually here. Like bottom.
Nope. Testing. Here you go.
My mask is made by Novels. One of Engel's Merriam. The back.
Gotta hold the mic closer.
A little closer, a little
Angel's getting jealous.
My mask is made by Nautilus, and I threw the rest together. I got my tails made by Golden Roll, but highly suggest.
Hi, this is Maggie's editor. I was filming and handling for Maggie that day, so here are some photos of my kid. This is Yazin. She's a sort of punk goth 90s kitty cat. I bought the head from Peachy Pig, along with the paws and tail, and the rest is all my own style. We're still looking for the best outfits for her. I get a lot of compliments, but also a lot of people saying that my color composition isn't as good as it could be. I really love her outfits, but I know that they don't always quite match the rest of her.
I think that's it for volunteers who want to come up and show off. Are there any more questions? All right. I saw over there first. I'm going to come back to you in a second.
So how far is it to see out of the mask typically?
It varies, and it can be anywhere from fursuit to, oh my God, what was this person thinking?
Because I could barely see the eye holes in that one.
Yes, it is. They're very tiny.
Yeah.
They're very close.
Let me explain how this works for the little tiny holes. If you have the closer to your natural eyes are, the easier it is to be able to see out of them because you don't have the interference coming from the mask itself. Years ago, I had a mask from Notori Sato from Japan, made original these almost solid silicone masks, and the eyes in there they were like doll eyes. That there was, I want to say maybe this 8-inch hole drilled through the eyes. That's all I had to look through. Sticking out of them, which I was able to navigate okay. And they did give a very much an uncanny valley affected people because it was a very realistic looking mask. Yeah. And I had a lot of great fun with that, especially doing the whole mannequin thing. I looked like I was just standing and then slowly turned my head when people were looking and they'd be like, what the hell? Because they thought it was just a mannequin.
So I have a very good example of bad vision up here.
Yes.
I love Kanakig to death. They have made some amazing things.
You have one.
And I will say this one right here, along with several others, have a bit of a problem. At the time, I'm not sure what was going on exactly. But for aesthetic reasons or whatever occurred, these almost would prefer you to be a hammerhead shark. And I say this with all the love because they are amazing masks to look at. They give some of the best looks in the world, and when positioned properly, make for amazing pictures. However, my vision is 60 degrees off center. She has tiny eye slits on each eye on the inner black part.
Mm-hmm.
Right in here. So you have your actual eyes sit closer to the center of the nose bridge, which is more over here. So you can imagine walking around with your eyes having to always look in rear peripheral. And I hold this up as an example of something that looks great, but it was a pain to wear sometimes. And that will happen in fursuit, and that'll happen in Kig. And you just don't know when you go for aesthetics, what's going to come out of it. So when you commission someone and you're like, I want it to look so accurate, you may end up with a headache on your hand. You don't know. So keep that in mind when commissioning in the future. And I say this because someone requested from my senpai I mentioned earlier that I brought Afro to show off her work. Someone requested Misty from Pokemon for her. So she made a Misty. She made Misty 100% accurate down to the eyes. Now, if you think about the Pokemon animation style and apply it to a human, and you scale it up to Kig size, the eyes end up about here. So they didn't want tunnel vision. They didn't want that 60-degree vision. So they got periscopes put in. And so you're looking straight ahead in the mask and you're seeing out over here. And it worked, but it gave people headaches to wear for too long. And there's nothing that can be done about that. But remember, when you request something from Maker, they will do it to your dimensions and your asks. So if you ask for something that may be a pain for you to wear, they will make it without question. But don't complain when they make it to your specifications and it sucks to wear.
Think before you order.
Always think before you order. Plan out that stuff. This is expensive. All this is expensive hobby. You know, the average Kig mask will start around $600 for the custom made nice stuff that we have up here in some Kig. Well, I have up here. Angels, I think yours is, well, yeah, you get 100 or like
$150, $200.
Yeah, our starter range.
Yeah, because it's a half mask.
All right. You had a question over there. I came back to it.
So this DJ, like sometimes it's other quick. You tape it at ear, so you do it better.
Yeah, you could, if you are good at tailoring, there's no reason you couldn't sew down a Z side to fit you better. I know people who have made their own two-piece dot ties because they didn't like what was on the market or didn't want to go for the trouble orient because they were skilled sewer. I think it was Dizen on Twitter at one point. I don't know her actual socials. Had made her own because she didn't want to wait and she would get sewing. So she sewed up her own Hadatai like to her liking, and she was happy with it. And anytime it popped, she just fixed it right back out. For the rest of us are like, oh, where am I going this time? I don't know how to sew.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm learning.
That's good. I'm trying to teach you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I'm learning. But when you can't get in con,
Don't
Yeah.
have it for you. Nail it.
yeah, let's say anyone else got any other questions? Yes.
If you're doing a latex cake, is that like do you still have the tie, or is that like
So people who do latex gigs will typically order a latex catsuit for that. They'll try to match the skin tone. There are people who GKL actually does sell latex match ones to their paints.
Yes.
And as the big thing I mentioned is the reason every maker sells their own version of the Hadatai is every maker does their paint a little different. They have a little different blend. There is no one kig paint. Although some people have figured out more or less what it might be. But everyone has their own little blend of it. And so if you have to repaint anything, you're going to be color matching to the best of your ability. And they will chip. This is why we always make the joke whenever we see pictures of kids kissing on Twitter or Telegram or anywhere. 2 words, chip paint. Because that's what happens when they did that. All right, next question. Yes. To clean the inside of the mask, I would probably look into an alcohol solution. And if you have any removable padding, I'd pull that out and then spray down the inside. Wipe that out. Yes, I see you waiting.
So where's the best place to get custom tailored time?
As I was mentioning, the problem is there's a lot that we sell from the same place. So there is no right answer. There are many correct answers. And some people prefer different looks or different designs of them. So to tell you go only here or there would be a disservice to everyone who has worked on them. And the fact that there are like 3 or 4 base companies that make them.
Number one important thing is measurements.
Yes, measure.
Okay?
Measure.
Measurement.
If you do not know how to measure, find a friend. If they do not know how to measure, good. They can still look at the reference sheet while you stand still.
Yeah.
Because everyone includes some sort of figure guide for what measurements they want. If they want, when they were say measurement 25 is from the tip of your middle finger all the way up to your shoulder, you go, okay, we're doing measurement 25 now. And then they look at the chart and it shows them how you're going to stand and the measurement they're going to take, and you just do it. And that's the thing, is it's a lot of effort before and after. And the good thing is when you get your Hadatai, they are easy to clean. You just make sure no padding on them or anything. Take it. Get yourself a very simple, straightforward delicates bag. I have a 1 in white for when I wash my Hadatai because it will not run. Take it. Let the Hadatai in the bag. Throw it in your washing machine on the gentlest setting. Hand wash, soft, whatever. Low setting. Add 1 capful of woolite. Close it, run by itself. When it's done, hang dry. That's it. Only thing is you will end up over time with little, you can't see it of course because they're so tiny on my hands. This is brand new and I've got them already today. Velcro is the enemy of anything. Really, it's a jig.
So start pulling the fibers out. So careful.
And Hadatai hands do stain just from touching any surface. Any little black marks will gather over time on the hands. We have found that if you are using, was it lava soap, I believe? Yeah, it was lava. No, was it? No, it was Dove Dop has a soap that does pretty decent about just removing it. And you just wash your hands in the hadatai. And it helps get some of that oil out.
I can show him what it looks like. If
Yeah.
you want.
Yadahu. Angel will come around and show you dirty hadatai hands that are just naturally like this.
See the difference. Little white lines and the little braces.
While she's doing that, any other questions?
Fair. Yeah. One thing, another thing, all the innate types that I've gotten, they've also given pair of matching elbow length gloves. So this so you could wear them over to protect gloves on that one. And I guess another minor part of warning, if you have naturally long nails like I do, just be careful because you can pop off the end.
You like nails are also very bad up wrap onto things. Always bring a nail file. You never know. Yes.
So if your character has painted nails and you're wearing a hat tie, could you do they sell?
So here's the cool thing. Remember, I don't know if you heard her. She just mentioned separate gloves.
Yes.
Now, several people have gotten really smart. Get yourself some fake press-on nails. Put them on the gloves. Wear them. There you go. It's very simple, very straightforward. You'll have issues maybe over time with them, but you will have your gloves with the nails on them. Yes.
I guess because for someone who's in the lifestyle, how aside from being here at conventions, do you guys wear your kink stuff outside? How often? And how
It
often do you get-
varies by person. A lot of people will get in the groups and they have cams with other cakes for both practice and just seeing other people and hanging out and being used to not talking. Because you put the head on, it's kind of hard to understand you half the time anyway.
Yeah, you heard muffle. I just project.
But, post gatherings, off meets, maybe not quite as out there as furries are. We get weirder looks, of course, being there's a good chunk of male performers in the kink fandom, I should say. And a lot of it is more, I'm not going to say everyone, but I'm going to say there's a chunk of people that lean towards transgenderism, but aren't going to cross that line for varying reasons. And everyone has their own stuff. Some people are old. Some people are not there yet. Some people have used it as a way to gauge whether or not they want to, and then transition afterwards. And some of those people we see leave the community because it's no longer just a costume. They're not interested in doing it anymore, as it really was a way for them to express that part themselves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else? Anyone else? Well, if that's it, I think we about covered everything. Because it was pretty open today. I wanted to mostly show off stuff and, show the part that not everyone gets to see when we're getting in, but keep it, censored.
Yes. Because remember, we're all naked under our clothes.
Yeah. And in her datai, we're also naked.
Yeah. Layers. Yes.
So in terms of human stuff goes, how long can you be under?
It depends on the head.
Yeah.
And the person.
Or if you have a neck fan or something like that.
The neck fan ain't gonna do much. It really depends on the head.
Yeah.
Because if you are not getting airflow at all, it just builds up. And which is why I mentioned Afro can stay in that head for a while. Because she pops it down and she's got a couple of fans she wired up. Very smart girl.
It ultimately depends on your tolerance for heat. For me, I'm perpetually cold. So
I will tell you, walking outside in this without the head on, I'm freezing. With the head on, I'm freezing and I'm still hot. Because this is just a couple of layers of satin and then this thin lycra style. It's not even like, it's a lycra blend. It's lycra cotton one.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is not enough layers here to keep me warm in that snow.
No.
Yes, I see you with your hand up.
Does the dress say custom?
Yes, I did get this dress custom made to the character because she's actually from a 90s TV show season that people never know.
This one was if this was bought off the shelf. Because I'm small. I can shut the shut. Heck.
Also you.
What TV show? You don't mind me asking.
Oh, Princess Flame is from Blazing Dragons. 95, 96 by Nelvana. Season 1, I'm wearing her season 1 outfit, sans the hat she would need. And her season 2 outfit also has hats completely different. Last chance, anyone else? Going once. Going twice.
Sold!
Panel's over.